What's up, YouTube? It's Edwin, the comic jabroni, coming at you. Today is a special video that I got for you guys. Today is a video contest entry for Thanatos' 700 subscriber contest. Thanatos is one of these guys in the comic community that is putting out incredible content. I watch his channel among others that I watch, and he recently hit that 700 subscribers, and he's way over. He's almost at 800 now, but he's doing a contest on his channel, and there were a couple things that you had to do. Obviously, you had to be a subscriber of his. Another one was on that video, you had to comment that you wanted in, but he asked for a couple other things, and one of the things that he asked was to make a video, and the video couldn't just be about anything. The video he really wanted was to remake your first video that you had made. If you have never made a video, he asked that you make one. You start putting out YouTube content. There's plenty of room out there for people in the comic community. Put your stuff out there, on YouTube. And this comic community is like a huge family, and everybody's so nice. And I would suggest for you guys, if you get comics every week, or you think you have something to put out there, hey guys, put it. So he asked that, in my case, and others like me that have videos out there, you go back and you remake that first video. So that's what I'm going to do today. One of the other things that he asked was to do a shout out to channels or Instagram pages that you feel like should have, more subscribers. And I'm going to start off with that. I've got one YouTuber and then one Instagrammer. As far as YouTube goes, there's a guy that I watch, man, every week. He puts out good stuff, and I really enjoy his content, and that is I Love Signed Comics. You would think for a guy that he's just putting out great content, he would have so many subscribers, and I think he's right over 100, and I really want to get this guy pushed over to that 200, even 300 subscribers, because he's putting out awesome stuff, guys. He knows, this guy is so knowledgeable when it comes to comic books, and the signatures and who writes them and who does the artwork. He even has a webpage where he talks about how much these artists and these writers are charging at different shows to sign. I know every week, one show of his that I definitely watch all the time is his top 5, right? So on Wednesday, he'll put out his top 5 for the following Wednesday, because he gives himself a budget of $25 a week to purchase books. And he'll pick the top 5 that are going in his sub box. And then one of them, he puts a vicious, it's such an awesome cover. And he pretty much picks it right every time, right? I think every week he picks the most vicious cover out there. So definitely go check him out, man. I Love Signed Comics. He's out in Dallas, such a great YouTuber, and I'm happy to call him a friend of mine. And now on Instagram, there's a fellow San Antonian out here that don't believe he has a YouTube channel. If he does, he's trying to, he's going to start making videos. But I know on Instagram, he made a comics page, and it is James, and it's For the Love of Comics. For the Love of Comics. And I know in San Antonio, he's out on the other side of town from me, which is like a 45-minute drive. And we'll message each other on Instagram, and he talking about Half Price Books, because he has 2 on the other side of town. And me, I absolutely love going to Half Price Books. So he's always hitting me up telling me, hey, look, I just went to the Half Price Books on this side of town. They got this and this. You should stop by. So definitely appreciate James and everything he does. So I'll be posting I Love Signed Comics, and For the Love of Comics, I'll be on, in the description below. I'll put their pages there. So definitely go check them out. Also today, on top of showing you my old books, I wanted to, because Thanatos, in his contest video, he was drinking a little bit of whiskey of that Johnny Walker. So I got a little bit of whiskey of my own. I'm drinking an old fashioned for him. So cheers, Thanatos. And today's whiskey of choice is Eagle Rare. That is an amazing whiskey. Absolutely love that stuff. So let's get into it. My first video was in March of last year. It was the first time I'd ever made a video. I had a friend of mine, Eric Perez. A lot of you might know him or you don't, as 8-Bit Eric. I've grown up with this guy, known each other since 6th or 7th grade, and he really got into making YouTube maybe, 8-9 years ago, and got into the video game genre. And I had gotten into it too, and I have a pretty nice collection of old video games. And I always wanted to make YouTube videos, but there was just so many people out there that were making video game content. So when I got back to San Antonio after I'd gotten out of the Army, I started getting back into collecting comic books. I started a job at one of the hospitals here in town, and one of the guys that I worked with, a lot of you, if you watch my videos, you know Alan. He was a huge collector, huge. So he really got me back into it. And the one book that really, it made me go to the local comic shop was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 44, right? The Death of Donatello. I wanted a copy of that book. This would be the first time that I bought a new book in well over probably 10 years or so. So started collecting. I'd been collecting again, big time again since like 2015. But 2018, my buddy Eric said, hey man, you got to make content on your comics, man. You're going out there and you're hunting for books, and people want to see this stuff, and they want to know. And he would tell me, you're really knowledgeable, Edwin. You know all your your comic book stuff. Put it out there on YouTube. Let others know. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it. So if you watch that first video, I give kind of a little intro into my first video, and that's it. My buddy Eric told me, you got to get into this, get into YouTube, make the content. You pick up these books every week. Just don't waste it. Don't waste this opportunity. So since then on, I've been putting out a video, at least one video a week. And my channel's really grown into my weekly pickups. I review them, which I wasn't doing at the beginning, but I review them. I kind of give you a little synopsis of what's going on, and hopefully it helps you decide, do I want this book or do I not want this? And then I go hunting. So I show you what I get in my hunts, right? Half price books is a big one for me. Whenever I meet up with my buddy Alan, because he's selling his comics, and I've gotten all sorts of awesome stuff from him. But let's get into the books that I picked up and I showed off that first time. Let's start with independent books. First one is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25. Now this book right here was polybagged. If you guys remember last year, this was the very beginning of that Shattered Grid. They polybagged these. They were kind of like chase variants because you never knew. You would pick up the bag, it's all black, you have no idea, and then inside was a different colored Ranger. And the big one to pick up was the green. And the red one was one kind of sought after. So I've got 3 of them, and I have no idea if the red one was the one that was in that bag, because when I showed the book off that day, I still hadn't opened it. I made a video maybe a week or 2 later with the unveiling of which books I got. So check that video out. I'm gonna post it up here. Let me get some more of this Mighty Fine whiskey. So super happy I got the red one, because the red one was one of my favorite Power Rangers growing up. Obviously the green one, Tommy, but Jason, the Red Ranger, awesome. So let's move on. Next one up, IDW. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 80. It's crazy to think that they're almost, they're almost at 100 now. They're at 90, 93 is coming up, or 94. This was part of the Triceratons, Invasion of the Triceratons. As you guys know, with the Turtles, I'm always picking up these retailer incentives. So it's the C cover, and it's supposed to be a 1 in 10. Anytime I look them up on Midtown, they're going for $9.99. But my comic shop, I have good rapport there. I'm really friendly with the owner. We text back and forth, and he sells these retailer incentives to me for cover price, which I truly appreciate, because I think the retailer incentives are the better covers. They just have some random artist just drawing turtles that doesn't really represent the story inside, but it's just their interpretation of what the turtles are, and I absolutely love that. Then we move into Marvel, a book series that I hardly ever pick up. I really don't pick up a lot of this, but that week I picked up Daredevil number 600, and the main reason I picked it up is it is one of these anniversary issues, number 600. I want to say that I haven't picked up a Daredevil since this one, almost a year ago, which I think 609, 610, 611 were really big issues, and I actually went to my local comic shop to find them, and I never did. But there you go, Daredevil number 600. Next up on the docket, we got Avengers number 686. That was part of that storyline that came out last year, that No Surrender. Awesome story. I said it in that video that I absolutely loved and dug this story. And I think 2 issues before this was that was the introduction of the Immortal Hulk, right? That was the one that, man, everybody was out there looking for it, and now people are still looking for it because Immortal Hulk has done gangbusters as far as story and artwork. Those covers are amazing. People were out there looking for it. So 686 just continued on with that No Surrender. It was a really good story, and I know they're starting up with another 12-part series here soon. I think it's called No Home or No Way Home or something. So Avengers 686, that No Surrender. God, that was an awesome story. Let's move into DC. 2 books that I showed off back to back. These were older books. Reason I picked them up was because they were first appearances, and this one would be Superman 42, which was the first appearance of Boy Zorro, right? That's Bizarro's son. And then the next one I got was Superman 43. Now these 2 didn't come out that week. They had come out a month or 2 months prior. But these were those first appearances. This is the first appearance of the Robin, Rob Zorro. So, anytime I can pick up a first appearance of a character, even if it's a minor character, guys, I'm going to go out and get it. Old fashions, guys. Those are my things. I absolutely love old fashions. So let's keep going. Don't want to make this too long. Next up, we got Doomsday Clock number 4. All right, this is part 4 of that 12-part story. It's been a year. They are still not done with this damn story. I said it back then, and I'll say it again. I'm not a fan of the Watchmen, but I wanted to pick this up because they're bringing the Watchmen into the DC universe, and I thought they would have been done by now. But these books are coming out every 2 or 3 months, and it's absolutely killing me because every time they come out, I'm lost. Like, what the hell did I read the month or 2 months, 3 months before? I have no idea. So I think the best thing to do with this series, and I'm going to tell you from now until it ends, is to pick them up and just wait till the very end to read them all. Because it's a story that it's tough to read with so much break inside. All right, another one I picked up, Green Lantern number 10, another first appearance. This is the first appearance of the Phantom Lantern. So nice to get a first appearance there. And like I've said before, Green Lantern covers to me are just amazing because of all the colors, the brightness that they bring in. Absolutely love them. Got a Detective Comics 977. Man, that was almost a year ago, and we're almost at 1,000, guys. 977. This was the Albuquerque cover. Awesome cover. Anytime you can pick up a Raphael Albuquerque cover at cover price, you got to get it, right? Picked up a book from my buddy Alan. I remember this. He got me this because he knows I absolutely love Joker, and if you see down here, I love me some Joker, guys. Batman Confidential 23. Such a crazy cover. He's got that bean. He got that bean looking through his eye like that. What does it say? Stop me if you've heard this one. A psycho killer faces a judge for sentencing. One was assaulted. Peanut. Oh, jeez. Joker's a trip. He's insane, man. Insane. All right, last book that I showed off in my very first video. It is Dark Knight's Metal number 6. Gosh, I dig this cover, guys, with all the different Batman there. Now, this is the Jim Lee cover. This is the B cover. Or actually, it looks like it's the D cover because it's got a little 4 down there. So this is the conclusion of that Dark Knight's Metal. And I'm going to tell you now, like I told you a year ago, I have absolutely no idea what happened in that story. And I've read it 2 or 3 times. And it's just a difficult read. With the whole Nth Metal, and I know everything that's going on now in the story as far as Justice League and Promethea or whatever her name is. It's all stemming from this, right? From them breaking the source wall, and there are parts of Metal that I absolutely enjoyed. I love the Batman Who Laughs and the other different evil renditions of Batman. But as far as the main story went, just it wasn't my favorite. I like the one shots, you know, I like the characters that came out of it, but I wasn't a fan of the actual story. So anyways, that was a recap of what I got in my first video. Again, this is my contest entry into Thanatos Comics 700 subscriber contest. Man, congratulations on hitting that 700. Right now I'm at like 320 some, maybe 330. I'm trying to get up there, man, at that 700, trying to put out content. I can see that doing live shows helps out a lot, and I haven't done one yet, but myself and Just a Rican and his comics, Rod, we're gonna get one going. Me and him, maybe weekly, maybe every other week, doing live show, just talking about comics and different things. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This is Edwin the Comic Jabroni, my contest entry. Make sure to check out in the description those different guys that I told you about. And thanks a lot. Go check out Thanatos. Go check out his channel and make your own video. Come on, guys. It's easy. It's easy. It's not really difficult. And I want to see what comics are in your collection. All right. So till next time. Peace.